working, of course, on his own quest. He's sitting at 37 stacks. Gul'dan at 19, by the way, for the Echoed Corruption, just to keep you guys in the loop here. But this is really insane pressure play, especially at that top lane, whereas we have heroes committing to the mid lane, up to the top. Shrimpy has already started to work heavily on the fort. And that is something that put Rosmek at a bit of a disadvantage. He had to fall back here, and he doesn't have the wave clear that they need to really deal with that wave. So now in the first fort in the game falls, and that is just delivering an advantage for Method. It's going to be very tricky for Diamondskin to regain here. The early advantage has not really worked well enough in their favor to snowball. So now they have to, once again, face Method on more or less eye level. And they got another turn in too. In 12 seconds, the egg spawn location will be available for both of our teams to drop off their gems. With Genji in the top lane, Method can make a play to go for that turn-in. They put a little bit of pressure here on the bottom fort to try and pull Diamonds into that area to try and clear out those minions, but the idea is that they can pull away and start to look for that turn-in. And they will start backing up. 31 gems here on a Thuro. He'll be the first that tries to sneak on by. Yeah, there's already a side flank happening as Genji once again goes in, but Arcana has already spotted that on his rotation towards the middle. Good damage against Rosmek, half HP for him, and that makes it tricky now. Wolfjaw and the rest of the boys are actually trying to interrupt here, but Aethera in particular, if he can turn in at some point, that would be great. But Dartmok falling here, horrifying, not going to do too much. Counter kill, potential at least, but the Divine Shield is keeping Shrimpy. Scratch that, not alive. He's getting picked off by Nande, but here comes that quick time loop, and that could be the kill. Nande still alive, thanks to the Frostwolf resilience, and Malfurion coming in, and he survives through all of it. So we're ending this little skirmish with a 1-for-1 trade. And Rosmek also comes in, puts a combo on top of Chromie to make sure that she can't follow up with that Bronze Talons to help get the kill. Good play there by Rosmek, and we have a 1-for-1 trade. And now the turn-in is starting to look like it might go over to Diamondskin. 22 drop off from Nande. Robodoba has 26 drop off himself. A Dragon Guy come in to just try and make sure that they delay that. At the same time in the top lane, Method's trying to get their own drop-off. Yeah, but it looks like Diamondskin can confirm this one. Robodoba is close, and yes, he gets it. So at this point, another one for the red team, but Malfurion goes down. Bad timing here for a counter kill from their perspective, at least. Here comes the attempt to make it two, and with a condemn, they're getting them in. Where's Chromie, though? Doesn't get the damage out just yet. Nick is currently working in those sandblasts, sitting at 55 stacks already, really getting the damage numbers up. But of course, the big question is now, what can Diamondskin do with those Web Weavers, considering that their healer is out of commission? That's right, no healer for 5 seconds. Here's another temporal loop. Robodoba doesn't have the ability to throw his teammate, and Thrall just gets completely dumped on in terms of sand. Yeah, but Kirsten also in a weird spot here, all the way out there, going down. So kill for a kill here once again. But of course, the first Web Weaver has now bitten the dust. And down to the bot lane, we're seeing Aethera on Blaze, making sure that the fort still holds. It's a top lane that they have to be worried about now. And with Arcana coming over with that condemn, should be able to start clearing that out pretty quickly, especially with the help with Shwimpy, dropping down that explosive arrow on 4. Genji. Even Robodoba getting kind of low. Genji, here comes the temporal, the timeout. And Nick, is he actually going to get away from this? Genji goes down, they get the kill, Johanna falls, but Nick is alive, a 1-for-1 trade, and the fight isn't over yet. Dartmok is in trouble, but Robodoba with a quick throw is helping out Gul'dan and making sure that he doesn't die. But this game is just like, I mean, this is just like blow for blow. Left and right, heroes are dying at this point. 7 against 5 kills. But as the dust settles, Method is still slightly ahead in experience. And they can get further ahead too. They're grabbing the Night Camp, starting to get a push in the middle lane to try and pull Diamondskin towards that area. Now, Gul'dan can clear that out, but it should buy enough time for Method to go for the turn-in. And guess what? 16 is right around the corner. Exactly, and if you think about what we've seen so far in the game, we had Diamondskin with 2 turn-ins, Method only had 1. So even with the additional objective, Method has the advantage. Now, if they get equal through their own turn-in, then they have a very good opportunity here to really, again, snowball this and take the structures out, especially since they are now also in possession of a Night Camp pushing through the mid lane, and that spell aura is going to help them a lot. That's why Diamondskin is trying to burn it down already. Their own camp has already been defeated, and now we see a Method heavily pushing through the center. Yep, Nick just sieging away on the Chromie, trying to find targets, but also to dissuade them from trying to clear out this camp. Now, the camp has done its job. It's pushed up enough to let the Web Weaver kind of descend in this area. They'll be able to clear up this wave quickly, and then start looking for the fort. Robodoba steps up as he wants to threaten the idea of a fight. Drops a Groundbreaker on top of a Thuro, but meanwhile, while this is all being cleaned up, look at that bottom lane. Yeah, also look at Nick. He's getting the damage in now. The bottom lane, as you said, is going to deliver the fort, but we also have Chromie completing her quest, and he is still stacking and doing a great job at that. The damage output is just too much for Diamond Skin to handle at this point. 2 forts eliminated, the top one is already knocking at the wall on the keep itself, and that's what they're doing in the mid lane now too. Diamond Skin is all of a sudden in a super defensive position where they are losing hero after hero. With Thrall gone, the wall also just disappears here as Method is carrying the momentum towards the keep itself and hoping to drop it.
And it gets worse. Chromie finished their quest. Now CG's away, bringing out the extra Sandblast in the fights. Robodoba in this front line trying to buy a little bit of time, but that keep is being focused down. A quarter of the health has already fallen. That bottom lane has to be cleared up, so Gul'dan rotates over, and Method will take the opportunity to get more damage on the middle keep.
Nick is currently sitting at 65 stacks, and he's getting more in as we speak. The keep itself still in play, but Robodoba eats the full combo, and that's actually too much damage for him to sustain himself longer, which allows Method to push forward. Robodoba has to go back to Nexus, and that's another opportunity to slowly poke against the mid keep here and maybe even drop it.
Nane comes in with a woof. Actually allows for Chromie to get through the bunker and gets away. I thought Nane was going to go in there with the Earthquake, as a flank from the Thrall would have been great, but they were waiting on Robodoba.
Nick again on the move back. Here comes the Divine Shield coming out. The attempt to go for them. Roskmek barely alive. Gets the heals from Alfurin. Wolfjoe is low in mana though. Has to be careful here. Thero with 24 gems is trying to get out, but the X-Strike is hitting home. And that's 24 gems gone as we see Gul'dan completing his quest and Curson dying once again.
24 gems in Uther too. Roskmek even jumping on Nick. There's going to be a temporal loop to come out. He's already used a deflect. Will the combo be enough? No. Going to have the Dragon's Blade come in, but not enough actual kills. Darkmok trying to retreat here, dropping some corruptions, but Diamond Skin is starting to chunk. The corruption at the level 1 has finished up for Gul'dan, and remember with that 16 popping online, he does a hefty amount of damage.
The problem, Reload, one of the problems is also that they're just having such a rough time saving in particular Curson. 4 deaths on him already. Uther just struggling with this setup that we're seeing here. And now, of course, Diamond Skin, them holding onto the key was already big, but them also getting the 2 kills is insane. And a lot of this is just coming down to Roskmek again. That guy is all over the place. It's like he has an extra charge on his trade and the Swift Strike. He's just bouncing from left to right and right to left the entire time, putting pressure onto Chromie, switching the target over to Blaze, X-striking him, eliminating him, and a second later finding himself already threatening Curson.
What I like about him, as an arrow comes out in the middle, they were trying to maybe get Gul'dan, as Johanna's actually coming around from the left side. Okay, they're going to go ahead and peel off. What I like about Roskmek's Genji is that he knows that Chromie and Hanzo both have wind-up times, one on their Stormbolt and then also on their Sandblast. So every time they put it out there and he knows he's not going to connect on a teammate, he goes in for the Swift Strike and is willing to jump away. He is willing to put damage on a target just to say, listen, stop throwing out your Qs when you are not in a position to actually get damage, or I will punish you.
Yeah, he abuses that extremely well. That's exactly what he needs to do there. Talking about Nico and his Chromie, though, we also have him really starting to ramp up the stacks. He's sitting at 76 now, and this is really starting to become, of course, a late-game problem. We have seen a lot of late-game fights on this map here, and with Method being so insanely resilient and going full cockroach on this map oftentimes, Nick's damage is just going to ramp up more and more throughout this game, and that is a big threat because we have seen some really insane damage outputs on him in particular now, and with the quest completed, that's of course just going to increase.
They keep poking. Speaking of this quest, we're currently at 81. Oh, just kidding, 83.
Robodoba has just eaten so much damage here.
Garrosh not really enjoying mages, pelting him down. Blue Web Weaver's Woodison, though, as Diamond Skin buys just enough time with Robodoba taking that damage to be able to get lanes pushed out, and they're going to need it here because 20 is about to hit for Method.
Yeah, and Chromie is by now just comfortably sitting on the top damage in the game. 64,000 damage on Chromie, more than Shrimpy on Hanzo with his 51,000, and Roskmek is sitting at the exact same amount as Shrimpy. So both of them on 51k, but Chromie just taking the pole position here easily with Nick just chunking it out.
So middle wave gets cleared up, meaning top wave and bottom lane will be pushing in. Genji's buying some time on the south, 1 because he can get away, and 2 because he needs that experience for the 20. So Method will have an easy defense, but at least Diamond Skin has bought some time.
And also on 20, Piercing Sands now taken. So with Piercing Sands, of course, we have at this point, I mean, it doesn't really help you too much with the stacking process, of course, but at the same time, the damage output could be fantastic. With Robodoba always attempting to shield, especially when the turn-on is about to happen. This is going to make it much more difficult for Diamond Skin in the late stages of the game to get an additional turn-in.
But hang on, Robodobo wants to force a fight. He goes in for a Groundbreaker. A bunker is going to be dropped, and we're also going to have the Blessed Shield as Arcaner forces this fight. He's constantly chasing here. We'll have a Condemn up pretty soon so we can force the actual engage. There it is. Dark Mach is locked down. Full combo connects, but Robodobo tosses him away. But the arrow to follow up, a thorough goes in, and we have a kill.
We have a double kill as Malfurion goes down. Rosmek escapes. But again, a ridiculous play here from Robodobo. He's always there to just save a hero, save a target, or kill someone. Create a play, anything. In this case, it doesn't work out because Shrimpy with the heads-up play, immediately connecting with the arrow after the safe attempt by Garrosh. But now, of course, with two heroes dead, Method makes the immediate play for the boss here. Rosmek is trying to somehow do something about it, but very unlikely. They're likely to stagger deaths here. This is a massive problem. Even with the Earthquake coming out, this is an issue. Of course, we have the Earth and Shield taken, but here comes Nick again with another combo connecting. Robodobo in trouble. Rosmek wants the kill. He doesn't get it, though. It's a big fight here, actually, considering this is a 5 versus 3 the entire time, but eventually Garrosh falls. But respect to Diamond Skin. That was actually very well done, but at the end of the day, a 3 versus 5 battle is just nothing to sneeze on.
And that X-Strike was actually brilliant. That living weapon at level 20, when each hero gets hit by the X-Strike, the cooldown reduced by 12 seconds, allowed for Rosmek to pop out 2 immediate X-Strikes. And they were pretty close to falling victim between the Thrall Poke and Genji. That was very, very close for it being a 3v5.
That was insanely close, and I think a lot of it, outside of the X-Strike synergy that you already pointed out, was the Earth and Shield also that we saw from Nande here.
Totally.
If that would have been a 4 versus 5, that would have been an easy victory for Diamond Skin. But as you said, considering it's a 3 versus 5 battle, that looked scary. Just think about what happens there with how Rosmek plays today. Consider what happens if he gets the first reset.
Yeah.
If that happens, he's just zipping around them the entire time and takes them apart. But as is, they lose the heroes, they lose 3, the deaths are staggered, Method is gaining more momentum, they have the boss at the top lane, 91 stacks right now on the side of Chromie, and it just continues. Nick is firing away like a machine gun the entire time here. One hit after another connects. They're going for the keep in that top lane now. They have the Web Weavers also committed here. They want to end the game.
They want to end the game, especially with that middle lane being low on that keep. A combo comes out, it's going to be on Rosmek. He goes away for the Swift Strike, but it's just not enough. He gets completely comboed down. Earthquake comes out as Nunna's going to try and buy some time and slow down the rest of the members they push in. They have to deal with this boss that's currently hitting their core. And they get it down to half health, but at the same time, look at Robodobo completely by himself here on the left, able to toss away a couple of members, wants to stay alive, while Wolfjo actually gets a pretty money Twilight Dream.
He gets the Twilight Dream, but the shield's already gone on the core. Here comes another kill as Malfurion finally falls, and he's not the only one. Thrall is also dead, and Robodobo, the backbone of the team, is finally dead. Arcana tries to go for the final kill, and he gets it. Down goes Gul'dan as Method takes the 2-0 lead against Diamond Skin. Very different game from game number 1 on Infernal Shrines, but still, at the end of the game, we have Method victorious over Diamond Skin.
Yeah, good control over the late game, but going into the next series, I'm still thinking about that Genji. Do I start to take it away? Because Rosmek, he's making it close, man. Yeah. Look at these numbers. Rosmek, 65k damage in the fight. Of course, with the poke between Hanzo and Chromie, you expected an inflated number around 80k for them, but I can't believe how close some of those fights were.
Rosmek definitely played an insane game there, and it was very impressive. Especially, again, the cooldown reduction on Extract that you pointed out in that last fight. I mean, you see them going into the fight, and you're like, guys, you're trying to fight a 3 versus 5 here. Are you insane?
I thought they were trying to, like, poke it.
Yeah, poke it a little bit, see if you can maybe just throw someone, you know, get an isolation kill. But then they commit into the fight, and I was just like, are you guys crazy? And I was just like, that's over. And then you look at it again, and I was like,
wait a
actually
minute.
Getting really low. If there's a reset, then that could actually backfire. So
I mean, to be fair, why they took the fight is what we saw there at the end, right? 3 Web Weavers coming
you have
in.
to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The boss pushing in, like, they had to go for something risky. I thought they would poke a little bit, maybe get someone low, maybe they can do an Earthquake, get someone stunned on the boss, and then you go for the kill, but they just straight up fought it. Yeah. Incredibly close.
Just to explain that again, I mean, what happens if they don't fight? So a lot of people look at the last fight and they're saying, they lost 3 heroes, stagger deaths. But as the defense happens, as the boss moves in and the Web Weavers are there, all 3 of them were back in business. So there was just basically nothing to lose in that situation. What else are you going to do? Wait and then defend against the exact same setup as the opponent pushes in. It was a bit of a YOLO move, but at the same time, high risk, high reward. If they get through the level 20 talent on Genji, maybe another reset, any reset on a Swift Strike, there could be a miracle. But even if you only kill 1 or 2, that already makes the push so much easier to defend. Didn't quite work out that way. But now at the same time, of course, Diamond Skin finds themselves with their back to the wall, since they still need to win 3. And if they want to change the,
they want to make a reverse sweep. They want to come back, because right now...
Words are hard today.
They are hard today. Mets is up 2-0 so far. We'll be right back with the commercial break, and we'll see if that reverse sweep will even happen for Diamond Skin.
Keep up with your favorite players and teams on the official HGC website for desktop and mobile. Stats, archived matches, and everything you need to stay up to date with the global Heroes of the Storm Esports League. Watch live on game days and upgrade your Heroes of the Storm knowledge. 2018 promises to be the best year yet. Look for expanded statistics, enhanced viewing experiences, and more on your home for the HGC.
The Zerg are preparing an assault against us. I need your help to defend this base. Here they come. Put on your big girl pants. Do not forget about the Archangel. It could vaporize us any moment.
Initialization complete.
The side disruption pulse is almost ready. We've done it! The Zerg are gone! Ah, I am so happy I could kiss every last one of you. Except you. You go over there.
Welcome back to the HGC. Method currently cleaning up Diamond Skin with a lead of a 2-0. We're getting ready for game number 3, and we'll see if Method can close it out or if Diamond Skin will start to answer back. Game 2, Diamond Skin looked a little bit better, but you gotta say a lot of that had to come down to Rospick on that Genji.
Yeah, definitely. And also it was mainly an early game advantage that they secured for themselves. Later on in the game, definitely Method showing up. And I feel the Battleground is going to have a lot to do with it. So this was another Battleground, as we said before, where Diamond Skin struggles a lot. Now they're 0 and 8 on Timo the Spider Queen. But what's going to be the choice now? What's going to be the third Battleground? This is, of course, the big question. And also, what did Diamond Skin go for? Is it going to be the map choice? Yes, indeed. Battlefield of Eternity, as pointed out earlier today, is one of the better maps that we have for Diamond Skin. And they're going to try and use that to finally put their own name onto the scoreboard.
Let's see if they can win those brawls and win the Immortal race here against Method. It's going to come down to control, and of course, make sure to have that single target DPS damage. One of the best things, too, is that Nande is willing to play Samuro on this Battleground, which is something that can be a little bit fierce and something that is actually quite confusing to actually deal with. We'll see if someone on the opposing side of Thero, he plays Samuro, so maybe Method will have a better understanding of how to handle that pressure.
It's actually kind of fun because we could see Samuro from both sides. Yeah. But it feels to me already as if Samuro has fallen a little bit off. But yeah, that was the flavor of last week, and maybe today he's going to make a reappearance. But of course, there's other heroes to consider.
Thankfully, he fell off because I was not wanting to see him in every single one of my games when I went home because he's a bit of a weird hero to deal with.
Yeah, he's kind of weird. I have to admit that after he started popping up, I immediately jumped into the games and played a bit of Samuro myself. Had to actually level him to 5 on my Smurf accounts, and was just in the spot where I was like, all right, let's test this out a little bit. Worked surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Not quite something that I would suggest for every single Hero League game, but at the same time, it's a bit of a different flavor and a bit of a different throw.
He's one of these heroes that if he can get that surprise factor on you, and because he introduces so much chaos, it's easy to get that surprise factor, he can delete a squishy. So you have to be really careful when you're playing with him and make sure that your teammates are on point and revealing where he is. But regardless, we're getting ready here for BOE. Characters that we will worry about and probably see are going to be the Hanzo. Hanzo consistently has been a first pick on this Battleground, and this might be a place where we actually find Phoenix get picked up again between these two. Exactly,
and I would say that Hanzo is most likely going to end up in that first pick position. He's very reminiscent of old school Vala, where this was be one of the most picked hero on the map, and usually a high priority pick just simply because her arrow build chunked an Immortal down so quickly. Hanzo has taken over that position, especially with Vala, of course, falling off outside of double support compositions. So right now, an early pick on Hanzo, very likely, if not banned out here. Another question that remains is, what are we going to see targeted by bans? We have seen Medivh highlighted in the last game, Tracer, Garrosh, Diablo, maybe even that Genji that you've been pointing out. You definitely want to shut down Rospick if you're on the side of Method.
I can see a Sonya being banned on this Battleground too, someone in the top lane that can be annoying to deal with, and she has a couple of options to either help out in the Immortal race or just straight up run it down a lane and clear out those turrets to get you a nice experience lead. And as you have mentioned in the past, we've actually seen Abathur on this Battleground, which is